Hey everybody, it's Eddie G on Crypto for Growth. Let's dig in. There is a lot going on. So the first thing I noticed over the weekend was a report given out by Vanguard saying that, hey, there are reasons why we're not, in the whole cryptocurrency space. And we've made our money making sure-footed moves and decisions. And that's why we weren't really hit hard in, let's say, the .com boom and other events. They noted that the cryptocurrency space is an immature asset class. Okay, truth. You can't be mad with that evaluation. It actually is the truth, and they just don't have faith in that space as it is in its kind of nascent level right now. So I'm kind of like, I'm not mad about that decision. Not everybody's going to be involved. Vanguard is a big company. They make a lot of money. People trust them. I've had funds, I've had money in Vanguard funds for a while. I know a lot of people that have. So, okay, one of the big companies doesn't want to do it. On the other hand, there's a lot going on there that, is not necessarily so young in thought process and all that. But, we'll see how it plays out. Maybe later on, a couple of years, they change their mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do still kind of disagree with their decision. But that's not me. It's not my money. Not a problem. Hong Kong has a company called Harvest Fund, which is actually backed by a Chinese fund, right? And they plan to actually file for a spot Bitcoin ETF in Hong Kong. Now, it's possible they could have already filed for it, but I guess my issue is, it's kind of, Hong Kong is like this weird area, right? It's owned by China. It is Chinese land, but they get to operate in different ways at the current moment. China is not a fan of cryptocurrency. How's that working out? How do you see that happening? So, I don't know that, from the outside world, would you ever get involved with that? I know I wouldn't. But from the inside world, I would think that it's going to be quite popular as people are always looking for different ways to remove money from China just in case they've got to bounce. Just saying, there are reasons. And it's in another report that I read over the weekend is 73% of Europeans have confidence in cryptocurrency. And I started thinking about that against the backdrop of CBDCs and how the IMF is all about CBDCs and all that good stuff. And they're pushing it. Even in the United States, there are senators and, government officials that are pushing for a CBDC. I do not believe in CBDCs. And that level of confidence also says this level of confidence probably equates to only this level of adoption. However, that's more adoption than was before. So when I look at it, I'm sitting there and I'm going, this is great news. You're never going to get 100%, right? It's never going to happen. I mean, we have people that don't believe in the currencies that are currently out there, fiat. But I'm sitting back and I'm going, that's huge, because that means adoption is coming in a big fashion. And I think that when it gets here, it's going to hit like a huge wave on rocks. It's going to be big. Jupiter DEX. This is actually huge. I reported on another DEX, what was it, last week or the week before, that had outpaced one of the versions of Uniswap. Well, Jupiter DEX has outpaced Uniswap version 3 with over $66.64 billion in transactions handled. And that is a big deal. Now, I want you to think about this. Uniswap and Juniper are not small. Uniswap's got several different versions, obviously because of different interoperability things, cross-chain actions and stuff like that. But they're not small. These numbers are going to grow. And it's not a matter of there being one DEX. There's no such thing as a situation where there should be one DEX. There should be many DEXs. Why? Because there are many coins and not everybody's going to have the pairing that you need to actually handle the transaction that you're seeking. So Jupiter DEX, hat tip to you based on Solana. doing their thing. Blockchain interoperability for Web3 is actually a very big deal. I told you guys I am a principal, or my company is a principal in the Metaverse Standards Forum, and we meet all the time talking about interoperability. We take on projects and fund those projects to get deeper into Web3 and ensure that the Web3 space actually grows. That's a big deal. So interoperability, yes, I can definitely attest to blockchain interoperability being a very big deal. Just think about this. You bought, clothing on one area and you want to walk into another area, you want to be able to bring that clothing with you. Sounds funny, but when you're thinking about maneuvering between the various metaverses, and mind you, the term metaverse is not set in stone. It is a fluctuating and moving and space that's still being determined. But there are certain features that we can say, this is definitely going to be a part of the metaverse. This. So imagine having the interoperability to maneuver things in and around those areas. That's huge. And it's not just your character. It's what your character's wearing, what your character has in their toolbox, on their tool belt, weapons, prizes, all that stuff becomes a part of the metaverse. And let me tell you, the metaverse is going to be huge. Adoption is often done with gaming. Remember mobile games? Nobody was playing them. And then all of a sudden you've got, things like, I don't know, Tetris, that farmland thing, whatever. You have all these different games, the ones where you pop the bubble. Just all those things started off in games. And I think that's how the metaverse is also going to grow. Something else that caught my attention with regard to, government action is Hong Kong is looking to develop a stablecoin regulatory sandbox. That's actually very interesting, because what they're saying is that no, we don't have it perfect. Like Switzerland has all kinds of rules and all that kind of stuff. They've been at it for a while, but it's a smaller space. Hong Kong is a slightly, is a smaller space too, but still taking a pragmatic approach to standardizing or addressing stablecoins. I kind of like that. I very much like that. I think other countries should do the same in adopting some kind of pragmatic approach strategy to how they want to handle stablecoins. I don't see enough research going into that space. What I see are people yapping about it. And usually when people just yap about it, they're going to get it wrong. You have more than enough time to get this right. Way more than enough time to get this right. There's not going to be an excuse. Now, something else that caught my eye, only because I am a Shibarium fan, I am a Shiba Inu fan. Shibarium is cutting deals, partnerships, things like that to bring on. They're looking at 1,000 different projects onto Shibarium. I told you that team is not playing games. That community is not playing games. What they're saying is listen, we started as a meme coin, but we shed that a long time ago. Look at all the things we've got going on. If that was to work out, Shiba Inu could blast into the top 10 coins out there in a major fashion. That could be a very big deal. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kinds of projects get brought on to Shibarium. Now, a Ripple developer, one of the developers from, what's his name, Mr. Fueling from RippleX, proposed a governance model that says there needs to be a better outline on what's expected of validators and things like that. Just what is it that they're supposed to give and get? And people are freaking out. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, I think that's actually a good proposal. Why are you tripping? So they've got validators that are up in arms about it, and they have other validators that have left. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be ironed out over time. That's the whole point of having a community. But like the XRPL, I think it's called Foundation. The whole point is to have a governing body that has clear roles, responsibilities, things like that. And they're saying that when it comes to determining validators and all that, that doesn't exist, or it doesn't exist enough, like there's not enough detail in it. And you have a developer saying, hey, let's fix it. Let's fix it while we can. That's very interesting to me. That's very interesting to me. Something else that's actually bigger to me than anything else is Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is looking to launch their Bitcoin spot ETF with low fees. Remember how, you look at Fidelity, you look at BlackRock and how they're so focused on, large wealth clients and, institutions and all that good stuff. And you look at little Charles Schwab and you go, wow, that's kind of a big deal. Didn't Charles Schwab buy somebody? CHWAB. I could have sworn they bought somebody fairly recently. I could be wrong. It looks like I am wrong. Yeah, I thought somebody came out. I'm pretty sure I did an article about it. Somebody came out with a spot Bitcoin ETF. It was approved and almost immediately put themselves on the market, and looks like they were getting bought out. And I thought it was Charles Schwab that was going to buy them, but I can be wrong. It's all right to be wrong. I have to do some more research on that, but I know I have the notes. Anyway, you know what we should do? We should get into the numbers, because there's a lot going on that we should be paying attention to. Oops. There you go. So if you look at these numbers, you can see that you have a lot of projects moving sideways right now. Remember my 5% rule. So you have all these guys moving sideways. So as you get lower and lower, you have everybody moving sideways, staying at the zero level. Because when you look at the positive side, on the 24-hour, you're seeing the same thing. So I'm kind of like, oh, that's very interesting. Do I see any big losers? Pith Network, second largest Oracle, after Chainlink, down 9%. I'm looking at that and I'm kind of going, that could actually be a buying opportunity in my head. I'm still evaluating. Helium Mobile, another one, down 7%. Again, another possible buying opportunity for me when I look at that. Dog With, that coin With is down, what is that, 7%? Dog With Hat. Not something I'm interested in, because it's a meme coin. I'm not diving into meme coins, but it's down 6%. For those of you that are interested, that could be an opportunity. Not something for me. Stacks is down 5%. Again, to me, anything at the 5% and below level is going to be a what? That's right, a lateral move to me. Everything to me is moving laterally. White Rhinoceros, have no idea what this is. But if it's a meme coin, I want you to pay attention to this. $284 million market cap, 75% off its all-time high, and it's up 2,112%. What? Huh? Like, what is this? I mean, it's not something I'm going to get involved in, but think about that rank, 191. Think about the market cap. If I did an evaluation of meme coins, okay, I'd have to take a deeper dive into that one. It's interesting, but I'm not playing with meme coins. I might take a dive into it just because I think the move isn't interesting to begin with. But I don't play with meme coins because I have a fear of losing my money. Right? I don't have a FOMO problem. I have a fear of losing my money problem. So meme coins are not for me necessarily. It really depends on, do I see a story? Do I see a history? A strong community, things like that. Right? And there's really nothing else going on after that. There's nothing going on after that. That's it. That's what we've got today. I normally would go through everything else, but there's too much going on right now that we should be paying attention to everything else in the space, right? And the reason why I say so is because when you look at the news, everybody else is telling you, oh, Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, I'm not going to do that whole Bitcoin, fandom thing. And the reason why is because there's too much news going on that should focus you on the broader market of cryptocurrency. Anyway, that's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, drop me a note. If you don't like what I'm doing and you think you have ideas on how I can improve, drop me a note. Hit me up on growmybag.tv. Have a good one. And don't forget, there are tons of articles over there. All right. Bye-bye.